What's up everybody, my name is Daniel, and in today's lesson we're going to be going through if statements. Okay, this is lesson 8 of our series, and guys, don't forget, if you want to get the actual code that I'm writing for these lessons, you can get it on my GitHub. The link is in the description, titled source code. Also, if you enjoy these videos, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, please like the video, and also please subscribe if you're on YouTube. And let's go. Okay, so this is if statements. So if statements are very easy. Okay, they're really easy to comprehend, but if you don't get them initially, I'm sure you will get them. It's just with practice. Okay, so really if statements are if this then this. You basically ask the computer, is this true? If it is, then do this action. If it's not true, then do some other action. I'll just give a demonstration. Let's just say you're a person and you have an age, right? Let's just declare an int age, right? So let's just say your age is equals to let's say 20. Okay, your age is 20. Now we want to ask the computer to output if you are at the legal age to drink or not. Okay, so let's say if, right, this is how you write your if statement. If, now you add your braces and then your curly braces. I made a mistake, like this. This is basically the style of writing if statements. Okay, so you write here, you say if age is greater than 18 years, right? Like if age is greater than 18, this is a greater sign, by the way, then we want to see out something. See out, you can get your license. Let's just use, okay, yeah, let's just use this. So semicolon at the end. I just changed that from drinking to license because I think it's more appropriate. You can get your license because you're greater. You're at a greater age than it is required for you to start driving. Okay, so you can get your license. Basically, this is it. So let's just test that out. Let's run this program, and it says you can get your license, so it runs automatically. Now let's just say this age is maybe 6 years old. Okay, save your program, run it, and then look at that, we don't get anything. So basically there's no output. Basically this if statement just checks if this person is, this age number is greater than 18. If it is, then it'll output this, but if it's not, nothing happens because we didn't tell it to do anything. So this just checks validity, it just checks truth. So let's give it some substance that to do something if it doesn't meet this truth condition over here. So we can say if age is greater than 18, then do this. Else basically means that if it's not that, if it's not greater than 18, then do this, right? So I'm gonna say see out, you can't drive, you are not allowed to drive. Let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so let's run this and let's see what happens. And it says you are not allowed to drive. The reason for that is because the age is still set at 6. That's why you get this message. Let's turn back the age and say maybe this guy is 30 years old. Let's run this and let's see what we get. It says you can get your license. So the reason for that is because it satisfies the initial truth value, which is age is greater than 18. Now it's very simple. It's a very simple program to write, and I'm sure you guys understand it, but let's make it even more complicated because you need to understand how to use if statements in different scenarios and situations. So let's just say all right, so let's just say you want to write a program that determines the pension or normal citizen or child. Okay, so yes, now let's do that. So we're gonna write if, right, curly braces out after those braces. So we're gonna say if your age is equals, this is how you test equality, right? If age is equal to, say, 10, okay, let's say age is equals to 1, we're gonna say see out you are a newborn, for instance, right? Else if, so there's an else if command. So else if we want to check some other condition, right? Else if the age is greater than 1, then we're going to see out you are a child, for instance, right? However, this doesn't make sense in a sense that you're greater than 1, but what if maybe you're 45, right? So how do you stop that? So if I were to say, okay, here in this regard, you want to give it parameters. You want to say between the age of 1 and maybe between the age of 1 and say 10 or 11, right? If age is greater than 1 and the age is smaller than 13, right? So basically that's how you can test, give it parameters. Between the age of 1 and the age must be below 13. Age is greater than 1 and the age is smaller than 13, so it's between 1 and 13, right? You are a child. And then I can say else if, right? Else if your age is greater than 13, then I want to see out and say you are a teenager, for instance. Okay, do you guys understand what's happening here? It's very simple. If your age is 1, then you are a newborn. This satisfies this true statement. If this person's age is exactly 1, right? It says you are a newborn. And then it says else if your age is between 1 and 13, then you are a child. Else if your age is greater than 13, then you are a teenager. Let's run that. But before we run that, let's give this person an age of 1, for instance. Let's run that. And it says you are a newborn as expected. That's what you get. Now, if I reduce this age and say your age is 0, let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Why? Because we didn't give it a condition for that to happen. If we wanted something to happen here, to maybe say that you're a newborn, we would have had said the age must be smaller than 1, or maybe we can have we can combine statements and say if age is smaller than 1 or is equals to 1. That's how you write it. If it is smaller or equals to 1, then you are a newborn. So if I run this and you see what we get, it says you are a newborn. Why? Because my age is 0, and the true statement is if your age is smaller or equals to 1 and 0 is smaller than 1, then you will get the statement you are a newborn. Okay, so that's basically how that works. So now let's continue on with the program. So here it says else if age is greater than 13, you are a teenager. But we both know that for you to be a teenager, you must be between the age of 13 and, okay, sorry, I got distracted. You must be between the age of 13 and 18, right? So, or 19 actually. So we'll say if age is greater or equals to 13 and your age is smaller or equals to 19, then you are a teenager, right? So let's run that. Actually, before that, let's just give it maybe 14 as an age. I'll run that and let's see what we get. And then it says you are a teenager. So we only get one cout statement which says you are a teenager all the way over here. So how this program actually goes is that, okay, it gets this value. Okay, now it checks in the if statement. If age is smaller or equals to 1, is it true No, it's not, so it skips it. Else if age is greater than 1 and age is smaller than 13, is this truth statement detected as true? No, it's not true, so it skips. We go over here. Is the age greater or equals to 13? And is the age smaller or equals to 19? Is it between that? If it is, then it states that you are a teenager. Now, one last thing, what we can do here is that we can give it an else statement. What should it do if none of these have been identified as true? We can have an else, right? And this will run if none of these have been stated as true, and therefore none of these have ran. Basically, there's no cout statement that ran because it skipped past all of these. We can say else, and else basically means do this if none of those ones passed. Okay, so we can say cout you are an adult. Okay, and basically I can leave it at that. Actually, let me do this because I still have one more example. You are an adult. So basically, if your age is just maybe 20, and I run this, and it will say that you're an adult, and basically that's basically it. If your age is anything above 19, then you'll be deemed as an adult. Now let's just say we wanted to add pensioner, then you can't necessarily use an else, right? So you would probably say, let's comment this out or get rid of it. You can say else if, I'm just gonna do this quickly, else if age is greater than 19, then we're gonna say cout you are an adult, right? End line. And then you can say else, what's going on? Okay, else cout you are on pension, like that. So that'll work if you set the age to 90. Oh, this won't work actually, because this only satisfied greater than 19. So if you're greater than 19, it will say you're an adult, but then this line may potentially not run even. Yeah, it says you're an adult. So really what you want to do here is that you want to say if you're between the ages of 19 and maybe which pension is it, 65? If you're greater than 19 and your age is what is it, greater and equals to or greater or equals to 65, then you are, wait, if it's smaller or equals to 65, then you're an adult. However, if you're greater than 65, basically, then this line will run. Okay, so basically those are the conditions. You can manipulate this thing as much as you want. You can keep adding as many if statements as you want. You can even add if statements inside of an if statement. So I'll just give an example how you can do that. So but before that, I want to comment everything out, and my program doesn't allow me to do that. So okay, I'll just put this code somewhere because I want to save it for you guys. So let's just give an example of using more things. So I can say if your age is greater than, let's just say it's greater than 19, you're an adult, cool. Cout you are an adult, end line. But we can do more in here, so we can test more cases inside this if statement. So I can even say, okay, now it's greater than 19, you're an adult, but then if your age is actually greater than say 30, I can cout here as well. So I can say you are an old person, for instance, right? If you think that 30 is an age where a person is old. So both these statements will run if the age is 90, because it's greater than 19 and it's greater than 30. So if I run this, you'll get you are an adult, and you also get you are an old person, because the condition satisfies both cases. Does that make sense? So I want to give you another example, which we use in OR statements. Let's just copy this and just paste it somewhere here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna say OR in if statements. Okay, so let's say if your age, okay, let's just use another example where we use a string this time. So for us to use a string, let's include string, because I want us to be versatile, right? And I want you guys to actually understand that this doesn't only work with numbers, it actually works with floats, floats, integers, strings, chars, anything. So let's just say we have a string, and then we say string name, this is maybe your name, and we'll say your name is equals to Daniel, Daniel, and then maybe his other name, or string second name is equals to Sam. Maybe his other name is Sam, for instance, right? Let me just, for cases sakes, the name is Sam. His first name is Daniel, his second name is Sam. So we're gonna have a condition here. So we're gonna say if the person's name is equals to Daniel, right? Let's see out welcome, right? For instance, right? So we'll say see out welcome if the name is Daniel, and if we run that, we should get welcome, and we do. And then we can have an or, we can check or. So we can say or, and you use these two pipes that are looking up like this. It's not the I, it's not the capital letter I, but you can find it on your keyboard, right? Maybe underneath your space bar or your backspace. You'll put two of those. This basically resembles or, right? And you can say or if your second name is equals to Sam, then still welcome, right? So it'll check both cases. Is it this or is it this? If it's either one, because that's how or works, then it'll give you welcome, right? So let's just change let's just run this, and you'll see welcome. If you change Sam to Frank and you change Daniel to Kim and run this, then you won't get anything, right? Because we didn't have a statement that says anything if you're not if you don't have these two names or one of these two names. If I leave the name as Daniel but the second name is Frank, guess what? The program will work, because it only checks if either of the two work, or if either of the two have the actual name. So it doesn't check for both cases. But instead, if we have and here, right, if we have and Daniel and his second name needs to be Sam, and we run that, it'll say nothing. Why? Because it doesn't satisfy, the truth doesn't satisfy both cases, and that's why it won't work. So basically these are if statements in a nutshell. Like I said, you can use it for any data type: strings, floats, integers, characters. You can use ands, you can use ors, you can use anything. You can else if you want a condition to run after everything else has failed, and you can keep adding ands here as much as you can, going all the way. Or you can use ands, and you can also put if statements in if statements. For instance, you can say if, okay, let's just make a practical example. If this is true, right, if this, let's just say this is or, if the first name is Daniel or the second name is Sam, that's true, and the last name needs to, or let's just say age, and age is greater than 20, then we can say welcome Daniel, welcome Daniel, and I can say you are an adult, for instance, right? And then yeah, I can run this. Their age is 90, their first name is Daniel, the second name is Frank, that doesn't matter, this will work. For example, welcome Daniel, you're an adult. But then if I say I can say else, if that condition is not met, then I can say see out, I can say you are either not Daniel or Sam, or you are not an adult, for instance. And let's just change this name to 2, this age to 2, and that's what we should get. Okay, that won't run because I made a mistake, semicolon there. And let's just run that again, and it says you are either not Sam or Daniel, or you are not an adult. So that condition was not met, this one. So you can keep having multiple if statements in if statements. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically here there are 2 conditions that are running. You have this particular one that has been ran, and then after that you have another one that is also ran, and both of these conditions need to be true because we have an and in the middle. If this was an or, then you get what I mean. Okay, so thank you very much guys for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video.